So it's been nearly a month now since Fortnite announced that all future battle passes starting from Chapter 5 Season 4, the current season we're in, are no longer exclusive. 18 months after a battle pass has ended, the items from that battle pass may be available for purchase in the shop, and I think overall this is a very positive change. We've come to a point in Fortnite's timeline where FOMO isn't really working anymore, or isn't as effective as it once was. So many new players are now actively playing this game, and it's safe to assume that Fortnite isn't going anywhere in the coming future, especially now with the whole find it on Fortnite model really paying off for them. If anything, I'm honestly more surprised they didn't do this earlier, like at the beginning of Chapter 5. It's a bit weird they're doing this now, but better late than never. This is a very positive thing for them, and doesn't really take away from the value of the battle pass, since it's in the player's best interest to buy and complete the pass within the time frame, and for a very good deal of 950 V-Bucks, with the pass even giving you that V-Bucks back. If you missed out on a skin you really wanted, like Gwenpool or Mysterio, no worries, you can wait a year and a half for that skin to eventually show up in the shop and buy it for the item shop price, which would of course cost more than the entire pass. The battle pass is still heavily discounted and keeps exclusivity for a decent time frame to allow players to flex if they wish to. So why am I making this video if this is a positive thing going forward? Well, I think there's a pretty large elephant in the room that we're all aware about and hasn't been addressed by Epic yet, and I think it's still worth talking about. Will this change affect older battle passes? I think it's very interesting that the official article that mentions exclusivity being removed has absolutely no mention of older passes. The very thing that people have been constantly complaining about ever since the introduction of the battle pass wasn't addressed. I mean, the article even had an FAQ section, which included questions no one was even asking, so why keep stum about the biggest question players have? It doesn't quite make sense, and I think there's a reason behind it. When the article first dropped, naturally everyone wondered the same thing, and people had their theories for why old battle passes weren't once mentioned. A theory I saw quite often was that for now, Epic is dipping their toes into a FOMO-free environment, and if bringing back items from the current season onwards is really successful for them, that will be the green light for them to slowly start releasing the older stuff. I think this is a logical theory to come to, but I'm not sure this is the reason if I'm being honest. I feel like if they were planning on releasing older items through the shop, they would have full sent it and done it all in one go. If you're gonna drop exclusivity, might as well go all the way, right? I think this whole issue is particularly annoying because while yes, FOMO is bad and whatnot, there's really good arguments on both sides, and so finding a compromise is going to be really difficult. I know I made a video talking about how the battle pass model is horrible, and while I do still stand by the points I made in that video, I never really acknowledged what the other side has to say about this, and these last couple of months I kind of get it. As someone who's gotten most of the battle passes from season 7 onwards, I probably missed about 4 or 5, I personally don't mind them bringing back items from those passes for everyone to enjoy, but I completely understand the people who do, and it's no one else's fault but Epic's. The battle passes have always been advertised as exclusive. Many people played the game and bought the passes for this reason. Their enjoyment of the skins didn't really matter because they didn't want to miss out. I think if they brought these items to the item shop, it would feel like a slap in the face. While yes, a single skin from an old battle pass being sold in the item shop would cost more than the pass itself, it takes away from the rare value of the skin that Epic themselves have enforced. Yes, it is just pixels at the end of the day, who cares about rarity? That's not the point. It's more about the principle of Epic sticking to their word. The reason why the battle passes from Absolute Doom onwards won't really receive this backlash is because they stated beforehand that these items are no longer timed exclusives. Of course, while Epic can change their rules and do whatever they want, if they wanted to sell old battle pass items, they are free to do so, but they'd be doing it at the cost of breaking the trust of their player base. They would be guilty of false advertising regardless of whether older players are still playing the game or not, or if in a perfect world the gatekeepers are happy with the change. It's not ideal however Epic goes about this, if they even do anything about it in the first place, and unfortunately this is the hole they've dug for themselves. But the other side of the argument is still pretty strong too. While yes, it is brilliant that Epic has come to their senses and dropped exclusivity for future battle passes, it's fixing a problem that doesn't exist yet. If someone is upset they missed out on Gwenpool or Emma Frost or whatever, they wouldn't be playing the game right now. This change is catering to a future player base who will probably not be on the game for another year or so. Older or current players aren't really getting anything out of this change. There are 224 older Battle Pass skins that a player has absolutely no way of getting anymore, both collabs and original. And these are just skins. If we're talking emotes, banners, gliders, pickaxes, bloody loading screens, that number of items increases tenfold. It's ridiculous to say the least. Putting original items to the side, locking away collab skins like Darth Vader and Spider-Man is beyond stupid. If you didn't play 2 years ago, you can settle for Anakin or Tom Holland Spider-Man when they eventually appear in the shop. They're not exactly the same, but I guess they do the job, right? But what about collab skins you can't really make reskins for, like Geralt of Rivia or the Mandalorian? Well, that's kind of your problem. And I think this is exactly why this issue needs to have a solution one way or another. People will often say, well, you should have played the game earlier, which is an ignorant expression in its own right, but also doesn't mean anything. You need to realize that the Battle Pass isn't something you can get just for playing at a specific time. That's just one of the requirements. The other is to spend money and buy the pass. If you did play the game for a season you really wanted the pass in, but didn't buy it for whatever reason, you missed out. Too bad. You're being punished for not spending money at a specific time. I'll give you my own story. One skin I really badly want is Lara Croft. I think her design is really well done and would honestly be a skin I'd often run. I played Chapter 2 Season 6 a pretty decent amount, but I didn't buy the Battle Pass because what? I was 16 or 17 at the time with no disposable income. So I have the free rewards, Lara Croft's glider, her contrail and even her spray, but not the skin itself. The only thing separating me and a player that owns Lara Croft is that that player spent money and I didn't. I have the same story with Chapter 2 Season 8 and even Season 6, the Calamity season. The only way for me to get these skins I missed out on is to purchase an account that owns them, meaning I'd be breaking Epic's terms of service and also starting fresh on an account that isn't mine and won't ever feel like mine. I have close to 400 skins on my current account, meaning I've spent a good amount of time and money, and I'm not throwing that away simply because I don't own a skin I really want. So what's the solution? Honestly, I don't know, and it seems that Epic doesn't either. My personal theory as to why Epic didn't mention all the passes in the article is because they're currently behind the scenes figuring out this solution that doesn't involve selling items, because we know that won't end well. Whether it be a trading system or whatever, it's clear that if Epic wants to put a stop to the FOMO and exclusivity complaints, because let's be honest, if Epic just ignores everyone, these complaints will continue to grow, they're going to have to come up with a solution that allows players to access these older items that tries to keep both parties happy. Reskins simply aren't cutting it anymore because they're never going to feel like the real thing. If Epic had eliminated FOMO practices earlier, they wouldn't be in this position, but hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, the ball's in Epic's court. If they want to do something about it, they can, and if they do nothing, that's fine too, and something myself and other players are just going to have to accept. Overall, I think that this change is a big net positive for this game, and that's all that matters right now. That being said, thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to support me, my supporter creator code is Rxocky with an X before the O, so rxocky, and I'll catch you all in the next one.